Afternoon to everyone and happy St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2026. Hope you're having a great day. I'm not wearing green, so I'm in trouble a little bit here, but that's okay. I'm so grateful that you're going to join me here today for about an hour, maybe, give or take. And let me discuss something to you today that I've been wanting to come to you for a long time. Now, you've heard me mention Kathy Robinson, right? We're going to hear her story here in just a few minutes. So let's go to housekeeping. I've got dogs. They run over the house. They bark. They squeak. They whine. They groan. They moan. Well, don't give them attention. So they're here. The executive director's right here. She's looking at me with her little bitty Santa Claus. And you'll see her come in the camera once in a while. She'll be loving on me, be loving on her. We got a train track down the way. You'll hear trains coming through. We got dogs all around us. And that's just the way it is. That's life. I don't have an expensive studio. I've just got a room. But someday I might. So, if you look down here, get you right there. See what that is? See what that is? Ooh, boom, 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 boom. That's my new online t-shirt shop store, Celebrate American Heritage. It's Ola America merch or merchandise. I think it's merchandise and it's merch, whatever. Ola America merchandise. See it right there? Right there. That's it. Boing, 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 boing. Ola. It's Ola American merchandise on Shopify. That's my cover. Celebrate American Heritage. I'm going to go ahead and remove it because it's pretty big. And it is going to be Americana shirts, military shirts, A2 Second Amendment shirts. If we get going on that, then I can do mugs and hats at your request, or canvas bags, phone cases, things of that nature. We're going to start off with t-shirts first. They want me to do like 5 to 7 styles. I'll do round neck, V-neck, possibly boat neck for females. And I'll do 8 to 10 colors in each style. And I'll go all the way up to 3X. 4X and 5X is going to be special order. You'll have to reach out to me and order that. And I can make that, drop it in the store, let you know when it's there. And you can go by and order it. Shipping's 3 to 5 days from USPS. But I'm excited that my Ola America merchandise shop on Shopify is going to be open in a few days. We just got to fill it up with product. So there it is right there. I'm looking at it. Looking at it. You're pretty. All right. So the Erica Kirk story is going to take me a lot more time to investigate. I've gone down about 6 to 8 rabbit holes, and each rabbit hole I go into gets worse and worse. I can tell you with little tidbits of what I found so far is that she was in charge of a modeling agency that was housed in the very building that Jeffrey Epstein owned, a 16-story World War II building. And it was very high class remodeled, and she was in charge of the remodeling agency, and they recruited young females. Now, even more disturbing is that she got infatuated with a female, I want to say 14 or 15 years old, and there was a definite sexual relationship with this young girl. And there are explicit text messages from Erica to her to Erica, and it's disturbing. Her background is not very good. She's in with Israel, which I told you guys, Israel has her hands in the pulse on everything. And it's just not good. Her mom's not good. Her dad's not good. She's not good. The whole thing with Charlie is just a blur. But the fact that she was involved in a human trafficking ring, the modeling agency was just a cover and was close proximity to Jeffrey Epstein. She got crazy eyes. And I hate it when she whispers. When she whispers, I forgive him. I forgive him. What the hell? What the hell? No. Don't like it. Never have liked her. But it's very deep and dark, and it's going to take me quite a while to do the research, okay? Candace Owens has her thumb on the pulse. And Erica has a suitor after 6 series of The Bride that she's made on YouTube channel, Candace Owens YouTube channel, The Bride. 6 series. That's how long it is. 6 hours so far. And every time she digs in for another episode, it gets deeper and darker. I'm going to pop in my Cough drop. All right. So hopefully we're gonna be able to share this with you guys. I've been practicing all morning. This is Kathy O'Brien. Kathy O'Brien was trafficked by her father, sold into the CIA as a child to prevent himself from going to prison for mailing child pornography across the states. And the very person who gave him immunity is going to rock your world. Now, I don't know if she mentions other presidents that were involved and vice presidents that were involved in her sex trafficking and the abuse of her and her daughter, but we're going to see what she has to say as of right now. She's on another show. Forgot what his name is, but we're going to play it right here, okay, guys? This is Kathy O'Brien. Okay, guys. All right, let's see here. Okay, so did you get that? Gerald Ford was the one that started getting her into the point of being trafficked. Okay? She named Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. There are many other names that she's going to um, put out there for you guys. I want to do a duo presentation so you can see me both. Um, the Ultra Mind Control, the MK Mind Control, is used for a lot of these shooters on base. So when you see a lot of these shooters that go crazy, now some are of Middle Eastern descent, but when you see soldiers going ballistic and shooting on base or going in and shooting up a grocery store or a church, it's MK Ultra Mind Control. A lot of the shooters that we had, I talked about Thomas Crooks, I talked about Colt Gray on Sunday. They were both MK Ultra Mind Control victims. That's why there were so many meetings between them and the FBI a year in advance. This mind control, which she talked about Operation Paperclip since 1947, Operation Paperclip is what has been used by our nasty, deceitful, demonic government to control people's minds. And we've seen the movies and we thought, oh, those movies aren't real. They aren't in a chair, all, wired up like that or in some kind of water in a womb. It happens. They're showing us to our face what they're doing. It happens. There are things such as mind control that they can subject these people to this horrific trauma and then make them forget. It can be done. It Operation Paperclip will take a long time to go through, but I'm interested in it because I'm seeing all these mass shooters and I'm hearing her story. There's a lot of sex trafficking victims. All said they were mind controlled. Look at Britney Spears. She's mind controlled. Look at Lindsay Lohan. Act out crazy. Stuck in their houses. Being controlled by their parents. Mind control. It can be done with a color, a vibration, a sound, a phrase, a face, a picture, and it puts them into submission. They bring them back out with another clue or code, brings them back. That is devious from our government. And we're going to hear what the lady was going through all of her life. Let's go back here and share. Well, it's just going to have to go on her by herself. Okay, so it's not absurd. Let me tell you what's going on here. Why he was in with Robert Byrd and Joe Biden. They were part of the sex trafficking ring too. And I know you people think I'm crazy, and it's the truth. Okay, she met Ronald Reagan, um, Madeleine Albright. She talks about being at the White House at a party where she was being flaunted around by her handler and Ford and Reagan, and had to meet Madeleine Albright in a private session. She also met with Hillary Clinton in a private session, but she mentions George Bush, Sr. and Jr., Clinton, both of them, and Cheney. And what they did to her, nothing short of demonic, barbaric, human hunting parties is what she was involved in, where she was stripped down naked, her and her daughter, at Clinton's ranch just on the other side of Arkansas line into Missouri, I believe. It was a CIA camp. And they'd be stripped down and they'd be hunted. And if they got caught, their punishment was rape. And then when they got back to the cabin, they got it even worse. Junior, Daddy, Cheney, Clinton, all involved. And Obama and Biden were doing. Biden was not in the hunting party, but Biden was there with the sexual contact. Obama was with another kind of party. I'm sure you can figure that out. He was on the other side of the spectrum. Okay, so let's just listen to this here a little bit more, and then I'll continue on. Okay, we're going to come back here real quick. So you heard the names, right? Rumsfeld, Kissinger. They were all involved in the rings. They were all involved in these, and there are ranches everywhere. They take them to boats. She talks about it in one of her videos where she met Noriega and Oliver North in Florida off in a boat, a big yacht in Miami, where she was sold and trafficked. They have a lot of these boats in Costa Rica, South America, where they go on these fishing trips, but it's not. It's for them to rape kids on these boats. They take them out in the ocean. Where they're going to go? In the water to fight a shark, or stay in the boat and be safe, but then be raped. So there's a lot of this shit going on. Mackinac Island, if that's the one I remember, it's on the Five Fingers Lake, I want to say. And Hunter Biden has a tattoo of Five Fingers Lake on his back. Five Fingers Lake is also synonymous with the guy that lost his son, Adam. They have the Adam alert now. That guy. I'm blanking on his name, guys. I'm sorry. But he is also on the Fingers Lake, and he has also been related to trafficking himself. I'm just telling you, the Adam Alert, the dad of the Adam Alert now on Crime Stoppers or whatever that is, what's that's called. But he's on Five Fingers Lake. So Five Fingers Lake is synonymous with child trafficking. A lot of places where they take these kids and they do these nefarious things to them, and it's sickening. But you're talking about great politicians, and it's not just males, and it's not just Democrats and Republicans. It's also females that are both sides of the aisle. It's disgusting. And when you're talking about Robert Byrd, the head of the KKK, and talking about Henry Kissinger, and um, all these other people, all these other politicians, they're all in it. They're all in it. That's all. That's all DC is. It's called the swamp for a reason. That's all they are. You look at them now, and I guarantee you, they all had their hand in the cookie jar at one time or the other. All of them. And it's crazy. Now, do I believe President Trump? I hope to God not, because if he is, I'll be the first in line to want to put him up on a branch somewhere and take care of business. I don't think he is. I don't see it. I don't believe it. But if I'm wrong, I will admit I'm wrong, because I call balls and strikes. And if he is nefarious like those other ones are, I'll be the first to advocate that there needs to be some prison time or just the chair. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. No court. Just to the chair. Bzz, bzz. That's it. That's all I was advocating for. All right, let's listen a little bit more to her and see what else she's got to say. Who else she mentions? Okay. Hopefully, this is sharing with you guys. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. I don't think this is sharing with you guys. Interesting. It does get real creepy. It gets very creepy. Very, very creepy. Now, she mentioned Hillary Clinton and Haiti, and Madeleine Albright was Hillary Clinton's, I guess, protege. And Madeleine Albright just as nasty as Hillary Clinton, if not worse. So you can imagine the behaviors that Madeleine Albright taught her. Kathy O'Brien was with both Madeleine Albright and Hillary Clinton, forced to be with them both. She mentioned Haiti. So what's been going on in Haiti lately? You want to know the real reason Paul Walker had that car wreck? I'll tell you the real reason. He was involved with the Clintons and the Hillary in the Haiti Foundation, the Clinton Foundation in Haiti. Okay? He found out that the many millions of dollars that they got, they only built one house out of the many millions. And that these kids were being trafficked back to Epstein Island. He found that out. He was going to expose it. And what happened? Freaky car accident. Right? Same thing with Anne Heche. Anne Heche found out about it through investigating Ellen, and then she was the last 90 seconds that she was seen in of her life. She was in a store trying to buy a wig because she said they were trying to kill her. The next thing you know, ring cameras are showing her Porsche go down city streets, just beam, 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 and then she crashes. And if you haven't seen the clip of her on the gurney covered up, she sits straight up and they push her back down. And she's fighting to get out from underneath that cover, that body bag on the gurney. And she's fighting and they're pushing her back and they put her in the ambulance. As the last we've ever seen of her. Because she was going to expose the deep state, the cabal, all of Hollywood, because they're all involved, guys. They're all involved. The pizza jokes are disgusting. It involves children. Pizza. Pizzagate. Ping pong. Comet Pizza. It's right there in DC. But they talk about it on Ellen all the time. Oh, Jennifer Aniston gives the greatest pizza parties. Oh, I love going to eat pizza. Sandra Bullock. Oh, I love having pizza. Oh, I love waking up with pizza on my chest after a great party. They made a joke of it at the Oscars about pizza and little kids. They're not ashamed anymore. They're not. They're just throwing it out there. And they have been doing it through movies, through Saturday Night Live, through comedies, through books, through everything. They've been telling us how evil and corrupt they are, how demonic they are. Now, they talked about the presidents and these frats. Skull and Bones is what the Bushes were in. One of the most powerful dark societies there is. That society grooms you to be president. It's called Skull and Bones. There was a movie about it back long ago in the 90s, I want to say, maybe early 2000s, called Skull and Bones. That's the strong fraternity. You got to be careful, guys. You need to keep your eyes open. Don't let your child be in a fraternity. Do not, please. Keep them safe. Head on a swivel. How to look out for danger. It takes you several seconds to nab somebody. It does. All right, so let's see what else she's got going on here. Let me share it again. Let me click it here. Let's see what else she's going to talk about here. I'm going to go up a little bit further because she's getting off a little bit here. Let's see where she's at here. Okay, so that's going to be on that. 'Cause she's still going to ramble on, so we're going to come back here. So you heard us say about mind control. You heard us say about the pew pew. Back in 2020, when we were all told we had to get it, everybody was going to be eliminated off the earth and had to get this, and now there's big repercussions from getting the pew pew, um, and all that shit. Okay, it's mind control. The media are the parrots for the evil cabal, for the demons, for the barbarians. They're the evil cabal. A lot of the things, there's a lot of more of the story. I'm going to have to go back and find an old video back from the 70s. It's an old video camera. It's all grainy. But I need to get some clips to show you what she talks about the Bushes and the Clintons and what they did to her and her daughter. You need to hear that because it will blow your mind that these people could be this sick. And because they're part of the elite and the powerful, like they said, the Epstein files can be released, but it's not going to matter because they're not going to be held accountable. None of them are going to be held accountable because of the power that they have. One man is not going to be able to change it, and all the three-letter agencies are not going to get involved because they're involved in it too. So we've got this, this demon, thank God he's gone, doing all this crap to these girls on this island. And did you hear on Zorro Ranch in New Mexico? They found bodies buried. Let me tell you about that. When they traffic girls and they impregnate them, because Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, and John of God both wanted to build their own tribes with their own DNA. So they would have all these girls and they would impregnate them by raping them over and over again. They get pregnant, they have a child. Pregnant, they have a child. They're only good for 10 years. Treat them like a car. They're only good for 10 freaking years. And then, so what you going to do with them? They buried him out there on the ranch. They were all buried out there on the Zorro Ranch because that's where his breeding facility was. And some girls, I was reading some articles today. Some girls say that they woke up and they were in a lab where they were being impregnated with a machine with his sperm. And then she was pregnant because he wanted, and John and God wanted their own tribes. They wanted their own culture, their own DNA. Does that not sound like Satan to you, Lucifer? That's horrific, guys. That is the most horrific thing that I've ever heard in my life. And I wasn't into it until I started researching the Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein Paradise Island and all that. And who has islands down in the Bahamas? A lot of movie stars, a lot of country western singers, a lot of musicians, a lot of politicians have a lot of islands close to Paradise Island. And they just motor over, motor back. The most evil and corrupt organization on this earth, and like she said, needs to be decimated, but it never will be because the elite have the power. And until we take the elite down, we will never know the extent of it. Victims are being shut down or unalived. They can't tell their stories. And she's been going on for 30 some odd years telling the story about the same people, the same presidents, the same VPs, the same, Secret Secretary of States and Chiefs of Staffs. And not a single one has sued her. I wonder why that is. Oh, it's because she's telling the truth. They can't sue her for anything. She's telling the truth. She's got the receipts. She's got her book. She's got all of her receipts. She's got a mind like a steel trap because, as Mark told her, write everything down. She wrote it all down. She could remember over and over and over again every damn scene that she went through and her daughter went through that she could see and hear. She's got it all. But they're so damn powerful that you can't touch them. And I think that's bullshit. I think that people need to take matter in their own hands and take care of this crap. If it were your child, what would you do? If it were your child, what would you do? How would you handle it? In your own hands? I know I would. My niece or nephew or godchildren, I don't have to worry about anything. Let me go to prison. I'm 61 years old. What have I got left? I do have a great life left ahead of me for traveling all this stuff, but I'm not scared of prison. It's just the way it is. But to think about the tragedies, the trauma, how they hypnotize them through torture and all that. I want you to listen to something I recorded from Phil Godlewski. Okay, so Phil Godlewski is the first one that got me onto this mind control, the frazzle drip, the Pizzagate, all of this stuff. And I want you to listen to what he's saying in testimony in July of 2023, talking about the Podestas and the Clintons and Huma Abedin and Anthony Weiner and what they found on the laptop where 9 out of 10 police officers, they said they couldn't handle it. I think those 9 out of the 10 were going to tell, and they got Arkansased, and they were able to bribe one. So this is Phil Godlewski, under oath in 2023. He's talking about Hillary Clinton's execution and Joe Biden's execution. I've heard about that. If you noticed, Hillary's gotten a lot smaller over the years, like a foot and a half. At one point, Joe Biden was a foot taller than Jill. Then he got short. Then he had detached ears and unattached ears, blue eyes, black eyes. I don't know. But he talks about both of them being unalived at Gitmo for acts against humanity. Just listen.
No. Okay, what's your source of information that Hillary was executed as you described here on video to your followers?
First and foremost, a journalist can't disclose his sources by law, so I'm not going to burn a source. I believe your client has actually invoked that privilege as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm an investigative journalist, and I am protected by the First Amendment to not reveal my source, number one. Number two, this exact story is widely reported across many different outlets across the world.
Where did you get it from?
I just told you.
From who? Can you name a source? Any source?
I'm not going to name my sources. Absolutely not.
You said it was.
Don't put me out of business.
It was widely reported where?
Across many different media outlets across the world.
Can you name some of them?
No, I can't.
Truthers.
I don't have the list here in my head. I didn't know you were going to ask me, but you're free to research it yourself.
Well, your source for Hillary Clinton's execution, first of all, did that person ask for confidentiality?
Objection. They don't have to ask for confidentiality to be a source of a journalist. It's not how it works.
Okay.
And yes, they did.
Okay. Did you have just one source for this information or multiple sources?
I don't know if I had one source for this particular piece of information. I have multiple sources that give me information that are very close to the actual events that I talk about occurring.
Okay. Can you tell me who authorized the execution of Hillary Clinton?
Donald Trump.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The military tribunal authorized the execution.
But Donald
trial.
Trump was there.
Donald Trump, as president of the United States, ordered the arrest via the military and then presided over the execution.
Okay. Did the Secretary of Defense approve the execution?
I have no idea.
Where did the execution take place?
Guantanamo Bay.
And we've seen Hillary since the end of 2018, haven't we, on television? Or is that a body double?
You see what you think is Hillary on television, but that's not Hillary.
Okay. It's your belief that's a body double?
It is a body double.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because Hillary was executed on December 31st of 2018.
Okay. But you weren't a firsthand witness to the execution, is that correct?
Correct. Asked and answered.
Okay. What other high-level public officials were executed by military tribunals?
Joe Biden.
He was, I think you broadcast that he was executed for crimes against humanity in 2019.
Yes.
And the Joe Biden that was elected president in November of 2020 is really a body double? You've broadcast that, right?
Yes, a body double and or cloning technology is amazing today.
He's not the same guy. Look at the pictures.
Could also be a clone, but I don't think so because it looks nothing like the actual Joe Biden anyway.
All right. So Mark Esper, he was the Secretary of Defense. Does he know about these executions?
Mark Esper turned out to be a cabal deep state plant, and Mark Esper is a traitor, in my opinion.
Okay. Should be executed?
No, I didn't say that.
I thought you said earlier traitors should be executed.
He wasn't put through trial, and he wasn't indicted, as far as I'm aware, unless it's still sealed for anything. If he does get found guilty of a crime of treason, sedition, or crimes against humanity, those particular offenses call for the death penalty, which I support in those cases.
Was Anthony Fauci executed?
I have conflicting information on that.
Okay. Have you reported that he will be arrested and tried by a military tribunal?
Yes.
And if found guilty, he'll then be executed?
I'm not the one that controls that, but if he's found guilty of a crime of treason, sedition, or crimes against humanity, those particular crimes, if found guilty, carry the sentence of a death penalty.
Did you report on social media that Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, was arrested and executed?
I believe I reported that Gavin Newsom killed himself.
Okay. And who's standing in for Gavin Newsom now? Body double?
Or a clone.
Or a clone? Did you report on social media that the COVID vaccines were developed by Big Pharma to control the minds and actions of humans by way of the 5G networks operated by the phone companies?
I believe that I had discussed that particular topic on my live streams. I don't, in the way that you're phrasing it, did I report on it? In my mind, you're making it seem like I gave that information, but I believe I was corroborating with other truther or citizen journalists, whatever you call us, on that particular set of intel. But
did you report that the COVID vaccine is about the cabal controlling the minds and actions of humans?
I most likely have said those words, yes.
Did you report on social media that there's really a second secret constitution of the United States?
Yes.
And did you report that the Supreme Court of the United States has already rendered a decision overturning the 2020 election?
Yes.
And they just haven't gone public with it yet?
Correct.
Okay. Have you reported on social media that Donald Trump is still the president of the United States, even though Biden or his body double was inaugurated?
Yes.
Did you report on social media that John McCain was one of the first ones put to death by a military tribunal?
Yes.
And you believe that to be true?
Yes.
Did you report on social media that former governor...
Okay, I want to stop this real quick. Joe Biden was executed for crimes against humanity. He also doxed SEAL Team 6. All right? Hillary, because of crimes against humanity, because of Frazzle Drip and what she did on Epstein Island. You can go and look at them before versus now, and they're not the same people. I didn't know about Gavin Newsom. McCain he didn't have cancer, was executed just like Papa Bush was executed for crimes against humanity. And McCain was done also because of treason, because he was over there supplying the Middle Eastern countries with information. So that's where McCain also got unalived.
Andrew Cuomo is a pedophile who raped and killed and tortured children.
Yes.
Did you report on social media that there was no shooting at the concert goers at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Did you report on social media that Donald Trump has control over all banks worldwide?
I don't recall that.
Did you report on social media that Trump sat down with Saudi Arabia in 2017 once he came into office and got control over Saudi Arabia, then Israel, and then the Vatican?
The way that you just said it, no. I did report on Trump's, quote, world tour in 2017. The way that you just said it is inaccurate, but yes.
Capitulation tour.
Donald Trump, immediately upon taking office, met with, and this is documented if you go back and look at his itinerary, met with several countries, Saudi Arabia being the first, Israel being second, the Vatican, the royal family, China, Brazil, and several other countries throughout the world.
And what did he do? He said, "I've got the goods on you. I know your cabal, your child trafficking." What did he tell them?
Not necessarily that way, but he had evidence of certain individuals, certain proponents of government that were within government that were doing crimes against humanity. They were committing crimes against humanity. And Trump, and not just Trump, but Trump and his administration, Pompeo, and several military generals who always accompanied Trump, showed them the bad eggs of their own government and asked for capitulation with their governments to help bring down this worldwide ring of terror, so to speak.
The cabal.
The cabal.
Okay. What is the cabal? What's your definition?
The cabal is a global group of elites, such as high-ranking government officials, high-ranking CEOs and presidents of companies, central bankers worldwide, and other financially well-off billionaires that control the world without any of its citizens knowing.
13
You said,
bloodlines.
on social media many times, Tom Hanks was a pedophile.
Yes.
And is Tom Hanks deceased now?
Yes.
He was executed.
Yes.
And was it a military tribunal that executed him
I
too?
believe so.
Okay. How many people have been
And his wife,
executed
Rita.
by way of the military tribunal? Is it hundreds of people or thousands?
I have no idea.
Okay. Did you report on social media that the District of Columbia has been under martial law for several months and the Patriots blew up the tunnels underneath the District of Columbia, which were used for child trafficking?
Yes.
And you believe that to be true?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And who's your source for that information?
Asked and answered. I don't give up my sources for.
Why do you think there's so much flooding going on? They were
Journalism.
cleaning out the tunnels in the bottom. Then they blew them up.
Have all of your sources asked for anonymity?
It doesn't matter, dude.
confidentiality?
I believe that they have, and if not, they're not required to under law.
Okay. Did you report on an episode called Frazzle Drip?
Yes.
And is Frazzle Drip something about cutting off the faces of children under a pizza parlor, or what is it?
He's having
Can you tell me
trouble
what Frazzle
controlling
Drip is,
himself
Phil?
here. He's
Yeah.
just, he's breathing heavy. He's sweating.
Frazzle Drip is a video that was on Anthony Weiner's laptop in a folder on his desktop titled Insurance. And the laptop in question was taken during a investigation into Anthony Weiner. And the video in question, Frazzle Drip, was in that folder. And video depicts a woman who is the same height, build, haircut, facial features, and attire as Hillary Clinton. And there is a second woman who fits the same description to Huma Aberdeen, which was Anthony Weiner's wife. And in the video, which looks like the basement of Comet Pizza in Washington, D.C., it shows both of the females in the video laying different children on top of ping pong tables, which are in the basement, molesting those children, frightening those children with weapons, and then drinking something, which would line up with the theory that it is the blood of those children.
Adrenochrome makes you
For
younger.
purposes of extracting adrenochrome. Thus, the main reason that Hillary Clinton was executed.
So Hillary Clinton and her chief of staff tortured and mutilated children to drink adrenochrome?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And President Clinton's chief of staff, John Podesta, you've reported that he's a pedophile who tortured children and burned them. Is that correct?
Burn them?
Yeah, burned them.
There's a particular video of John Podesta. Well, it's an audio, a bit more than a video, that John Podesta is screaming at a child to say his name, and the child is in a shower.
Scalding hot shower.
We know that not because of the video, but because of the audio. Mr. Podesta says, "Get back in the shower," and the child says, "It's hot. I'm burning." And in that same video, Mr. Podesta feels the need to scream at the child and make the child say his name. So the child says, "John." And then Mr. Podesta says, not that name, the other name.
Daddy.
He gave himself a fictional name while he tortures children.
You call me Daddy.
So the video that you're asking about burning was referring to scalding with water, not burning with fire. But yes, John Podesta is one of the worst individuals that have ever walked on this planet.
Did you do a video also that George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush have both tortured children and eaten their brains? You did not report on
I
that?
remember you asking me that question in a interrogatory, and I don't remember saying anybody ate brains.
Okay.
Just
Would there be no reason for anyone to eat brains if they're
Just
trying to
tortured them.
extract
Raped them.
adrenochrome? That doesn't even sound like something I would say, so I would say no.
How about tortured children?
Yes, I believe that the Bush family, as well as many connected to the Bush
Fucking
family,
evil.
were completely complacent with the sex trafficking ring globally.
Okay.
And if they didn't do it themselves, they were complicit in financing, allowing, or overseeing the operation for other individuals to do it, which in my opinion is maybe even worse.
Were either of the Bushes executed?
The first one, the eldest.
He was executed? You have to say yes.
Yes,
And again, you're not going to reveal your sources for any of these statements.
absolutely not.
And you've broadcast these statements to millions of people. Is that correct?
I'm not exactly sure of the number, but I do have millions of subscribers, yes.
Okay. And did you report to your subscribers that President John F. Kennedy was assassinated because he was aware of the global cabal?
He was attempted. There was an
Okay, now that one I can't go with. He said John F. Kennedy was still alive up until the age of 101. I can't get into that. I don't know that. JFK Jr. still alive. I don't know about that either. It's crazy. Already told me this. Okay, so I don't really go into that. I'm not that far into that conspiracy that JFK Jr. is still alive. I wish he was, and that JFK himself was alive up until January 2021, which would have made him, I think, he said over 100 years old. But anyway, guys, that's it. I've gone over a whopping 12 minutes. I do apologize for the long video. I try to keep it under 100 because I don't want under a minute, an hour. Doggone it. I'm so frazzled about all this other stuff that I heard. Under an hour, 60 minutes with you guys because it can get long and I get lost in translation. But you heard Kathy O'Brien. I'm going to bring some more clips from Kathy O'Brien from back in the 70s when she was first released and saved by Mark, and talk about some of that stuff, more of the presidents and vice presidents and stuff like that. That'll be tomorrow. I am going to be signing off here and doing my research on Erica Kirk versus Candace Owens, and hopefully be able to get you that by the end of the week. I'm hoping. There's a lot to divulge on this one, guys. A lot. I cannot tell you how much, but it's quite a bit. So, guys, I thank you very much for spending an hour and 15 minutes with me almost. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to get out to people that you know to wake them up, please hit share. And you can subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Now, I can't post this on Facebook or YouTube because I got way off in the weeds and I don't want to lose my accounts, okay? I also can't do shorts on TikTok either because That'll get me in trouble. So this was going to be mainly, it can only be on Rumble. That's it. If you're not on Rumble, you have to set up a Rumble account to be able to watch the video for free. If you want to go premium, you can go premium and then not have to go through any commercials that they put in every 5 to 10 minutes. You just wait 60 seconds or so and skip ad, or in some of them, you wait 5 seconds and hit the skip ad button, just like you do on YouTube. No big deal. But please, like, share, and follow. Just grow the algorithms a little bit, okay? This is my end of my segment today for Kathy O'Brien, and I'm going to bring you some more juicy stuff tomorrow on Kathy O'Brien, okay? So y'all have a great afternoon. Hope you have a great March 17th, and you celebrate this evening. Have some green cake, some green beer, green wine, whatever floats your boat. But thank you so much. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Y'all have a wonderful evening.